Hello everyone, back to you in today's bird and final video doing storm watch for today's bird and final video. So we are still in a very hot and unstable bubble of air at the moment. The atmosphere is a melting pot of heat, humidity, and we're going to be sparking up more thunderstorms over the next couple of days. There's going to be some big storms to come. And the folks are probably going to shift more towards more southern areas, I think, with time. And also to some eastern parts of the country, although other east areas are not going to do terribly well out of this. But we will talk through what's going on in terms of the thunderstorms very shortly. Generally, the idea is still that the further on we go, the more widespread these storms are getting. Okay, so it's been a busy old day at GavsWeatherVids today. We started off with the ECODEF 30-day look ahead, and then we released the 10 to 14-day video update with all regular features. Make sure you check out those videos when you are done with this one. It's very hot here in GavsWeatherVids Towers once again, so I'll crack on and we'll get through this as quickly as we can, I think. So, this current radar picture from the Weather Outlook. So we've got our main cluster of thunderstorms at the moment, actually in the north, actually across sort of central east parts of Scotland and coming down in towards the borders of southern Scotland. Again, some pretty intense thunderstorms around there, some very bright colours indicating some trench rain in places. Further south, mostly dry for England and Wales, but you can now just about make out a few showers beginning to break out across Wales, across southern parts of Wales, and also one or two in towards the Midlands as well. It looks like there's a thunderstorm or something starting to get going close to Coventry. And generally, I think through the course of the evening, we will probably see storms becoming a little bit more widespread across parts of England and Wales. But at the same time, it will be quite hit and miss. So in any one location, probably don't expect a storm this evening, but there will be more of them around this evening and going into the night. If we overlay the lightning detector, whoops, that's the right one, you can see that, yes, we've got plenty of lightning across eastern and southeast parts of Scotland, lightning across southern parts of Wales, and also that storm developing close to Coventry, that is also producing lightning strikes as well at the moment. So this is how the situation in terms of the facts chart. This is the human interpretation of models by forecasters at the UK Met Office. So we're in a very unstable area. It's got high pressure over Scandinavia. We're just generally bringing up a very hot southerly, southeasterly flow, not just of the UK, but across most parts of northern Western Europe as well. In this unstable air, we've got these little convergence lines where we just get enhanced showers and thunderstorm risks. Well, through the course of tomorrow, an actual area of low pressure is going to start developing over northern parts of France, moving out of the Bay of Biscay, moving across northern parts of France. And so as we get through to midnight on Thursday, we find that we are sort of under an area of low pressure, albeit it's a very shallow, slack area of low pressure, with, again, these convergence lines just enhancing the risk of thunderstorms in some parts of the country, but not for everyone. That's midday on Thursday. Again, we're in a very unstable air mass here. Proper thundery area of low pressure sort of sitting across the UK and much of Western Europe as well. Still with these little convergence lines, again enhancing the shower and thunderstorm risk. That takes us through to Friday. This is midnight on Friday, which is as far as I'm going to go. And again, we look very unstable. And by this point, we are probably starting to cool the air down a little bit as well. It's probably starting to turn less hot as the air begins to drift in from a little bit of a cooler direction, sort of north and west, as opposed to these hot southerlies and southeasterlies. So the GFS is picking things up for midnight tonight. So again, we're within a shallow trough of low pressure, looking hot and unstable. Look at those upper air temperatures; they do look baking hot. Going to be a really uncomfortable night again tonight. There is a suggestion that we might have our warmest night on record, or certainly the warmest August night on record. I think tonight is a possibility. We shall see about that. There is some cape and lifted around as well tonight, so yes, showers or storms could form. Tomorrow, but of course you can have all the cape well, but you also got to have a trig. You've got to have those triggers either weather fronts or little convergence lines, something to trigger off the showers and storms. Tomorrow, again, a very hot, unstable air mass sitting across the country. Lots of cape available tomorrow as well. And as we start to drift that low pressure up from the south, I think the storm risk will start to get more and more widespread probably through the course of tomorrow. So we've got an area of low pressure, thundery area of low pressure there sitting across across some parts of the UK, France, Belgium, Holland and Western Germany on midnight on Thursday. Again, we're looking pretty unstable, pretty volatile. Upper air temperatures are still looking very, very warm, too hot as well. There's still a little bit of cape left as well. And then we go through to Thursday, and again we've got this thundery low sort of sitting over the top of the country on Thursday. This situation carries on into Friday as well, but gradually you notice the upper air temperature just beginning to lower a little bit. So the intensity of the heat just beginning to drain away by the time we get into the second half of the week. But it's still a very warm air mass that we are under, and still quite humid as well, really. And there is still cape available even at midday on Friday. There could be some thunderstorms, particularly again for England and for Wales. Right, so let's see how the models are dealing with all of this. So this is the current situation in terms of what GFS is forecasting. 6 o'clock in the evening. I think it's a little bit too widespread with the storms. If we compare that forecast from the GFS to like the current situation, let's just refresh the radar at the weather outlook. That's the current situation. Versus what the GFS is predicting it to be. And I think the shower risk and thunderstorm risk is clearly overstated there by the GFS for 6 o'clock this evening. Nevertheless, there are a few showers knocking around across England and Wales, and more of them up across eastern and southeastern parts of Scotland. Into the evening, we keep these showers rumbling around. So yes, there could be some thunderstorms seen. I think they will be quite hit and miss, but there will be some of them around into this evening. About 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, suggesting something for North Wales in towards the Midlands, for example. All the time, generally further west, really, with these showers and thunderstorms. Now, as we go on into the course of tomorrow afternoon, then we start to see things really getting going in the south and also in the west. So loads of storms being forecast here for Wales and for much of southern England as well. Torrential rain is possible. Some of these storms coming up in towards the Midlands as well. I'm scheduled to be live streaming at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, so it'll be interesting if we've got thunderstorms going on. That's 9 o'clock in the evening. Again, lots of storms there through southern England, also in towards the Midlands, parts of Wales as well. Notice not all that much getting through to the eastern side of the country. Further storms rumbling around into the early hours of Thursday. Then Thursday we start to kick off more thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening. Again, the focus is particularly on England and Wales, much less so for Scotland and for Northern Ireland, and also for some eastern and northeastern parts of England. There's still the chance of heavy showers or thunderstorms knocking around on a Friday as well. We won't go any further than that, I don't think. Now this is the high resolution upper. So that's like a low resolution model. The rest of the models that you see here are going to be high res models. So this is what the high resolution upper is forecasting. Again, I think this is a little bit better in terms of the current situation. Again, that's how things are currently looking with thunderstorms via the radar picture from the weather outlook. This is the upper forecast. So I think that's a little bit better. Again, maybe a little bit overstated, especially so for Wales and southwestern parts of England. But it's about right for like eastern and southeast parts of Scotland. Anyway, we run through and we can see that as we go into the evening, so this is midnight. Again, showers particularly across Wales and some southern and southwestern parts. So we get to a shower drifting northwards, thunderstorms drifting northwards across Wales. Through the night into tomorrow morning. Very little through the Midlands into southern eastern areas, I have to say. We're going towards the afternoon though tomorrow, and things really start getting going then down across the south. So yes, we could see some really torrential storms through the Midlands, southern parts of England into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening as well. And those storms just carry on rumbling on through Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. You notice all the time they're struggling to get onto that far eastern side of the coast. So places like Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, it's not looking terribly encouraging in those areas, but certainly southern England, the southeast as well of England, the Midlands, Wales, all those sort of areas, southwest England. This could be a really thundery period from later tomorrow and through into Thursday as well. We're on into Friday now. The shower risk is easing back on Friday, but I think there will still be some heavy showers around on Friday. This is the DWD icon again at the weather outlook. And again, current situation, we've got the main showers up across Scotland, main thunderstorms across Scotland, a few breaking out across parts of England and Wales as well, but they are quite hit and miss. Into like the early hours, again, it's primarily in the north and west. The icon is forecasting those storms. Into tomorrow, though, they start to get much more widespread across many parts of England and Wales. Many parts of England and Wales picking up storms tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening. That looks like a massive heavy rain. Won't be like that. These are individual clusters of thunderstorms. So even within this area, it looks very wet across central England, for example. Some areas will miss the storms and stay completely dry, if you see what I mean. As we go into like Wednesday evening and overnight, the storm's pushing more towards the west and the southwest, if anything. That takes us into Thursday. Heavy thunderstorms down in the south through Thursday and drifting northwards as well with icon. And even into Friday, there's certainly a suggestion of some heavy showers or thunderstorms rolling around. And we've got Euro 4. Let's just see if Euro 4 is updated for the 12Z. Yeah, so Euro 4 is currently updating with the 12Z. So how far? So let's go to WRF, and then we'll come back to Euro 4 lastly. Then these two are at meteoseal.fr. So Euro 4 is currently in the point of updating. It shouldn't take too much longer to update. So if we go to WRF first, have a look at that first, and then come back to Euro 4. I think out of all the models that we did in Stormwatch yesterday, Euro 4 probably was the best in terms of forecasting those storms to be really severe across North Wales and North West England. There have been some very, very severe thunderstorms. There was last night across mid and North Wales and North Western England too. Savvy has got some fantastic pictures and videos of that he shared on the GavsWeatherVids Discord, and also I've retweeted it on Twitter, so have a look at those. But I think out of all models, Euro 4 probably did the best for forecasting those severe thunderstorms. So I would like to get the full 12Z Euro 4 suite in for Stormwatch. It's just updated right now. So let's deal with WRF first of all. Current situation with WRF looks like this. So this is 6 o'clock in the evening. I think this is a reasonable forecast, actually, compared to like current situation. There's a few storms across southern parts of Wales, one or two like for northern England, and going up towards southern Scotland as well. So that's a little bit better, I think, with the current situation. Now, as we go through the evening, you notice we do get these hit and miss storms. They look very hit and miss, but some storms developing through like northwest England, down into the Midlands, one or two even into the southeast. They are pretty isolated, but they will be torrential and quite severe if you find yourself under one of those. And there is a possibility that places like Midlands, as we know, there's something kicking off in Coventry at the moment, so places like Midlands could get some quite intense storms this evening. I think generally going really pretty quiet with WRF overnight, and then into tomorrow. So this is the morning tomorrow. Lots of storms across eastern central parts of Scotland. Otherwise, England, Wales looking pretty quiet. But in the afternoon, things begin to blow up. Then so this is 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We see storms breaking out across Wales. Many southern parts of England have got those storms breaking out, and they become very, very severe potentially in the west and the southwest through the evening. So that's particularly southern Wales with those bright red colours turning up. That is really trench rain, possibly supercell thunderstorms pushing through Wales, also into parts of the West Midlands. There's more storms as well coming into the far south and southeast with the WRF, and they trundle their way northwards overnight Wednesday into Thursday. I think generally pulling to the west though, Wednesday night into Thursday, going to Thursday itself, and they've got more storms ballooning there, mushrooming up on Thursday afternoon and evening, particularly through North Wales into the Midlands and down to South East England. That could be a line of thunderstorms from North Wales to South East England, and they could be really quite torrential, quite severe storms as well. So yes, that could be pretty nasty on Thursday afternoon and into Thursday evening. And that's pretty much as far as we go with WRF up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, I think. Right, so let's just see how much further we've got with the 12Z update at Metro with Euro 4. So it's almost fully out. So let's just run through then and see what Euro 4 is showing. We're just like 3-4 hours short of it being fully updated. In fact, if we was to refresh it again, it's possible that it might be fully updated. So it's virtually there. It's like 3 hours short. So virtually got the full 12Z suite from Euro 4. So let's see what it's doing then. So this is situation at 7 o'clock tonight through to 8 o'clock. So for the storms across the eastern parts of Scotland, a few hit and miss storms through Wales and the Midlands. I think compared to what the current situation is, I mean, that's probably not a bad forecast. It's probably a little bit underplayed for Scotland, but for England and Wales, that's probably about right from the Euro 4, really. So we go into the evening, and again, those storms just hit and miss here and there. But not many of them. Something there around Bristol, sort of that area, moving into the South Midlands, perhaps in the early hours. And again, just hit and miss thunderstorms here and there through the course of tomorrow morning. But as we go into the afternoon, then things really start kicking off. Look at this. We've got big clusters of thunderstorms through the evening. This is 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow. Loads of storms, and they are very intense and violent thunderstorms as well, with those red colours turning up over Wales into the Midlands as well. Very little on this eastern side though, and southeastern side you'll notice with Euro 4, but gradually as we go through the course of the evening into the night, they do start to get more and more widespread. It's starting to pull westwards through the early hours though. But then more storms coming into the south and southeast on Thursday with Euro 4. They're trundling their way up to the Midlands. Again, some very, very intense colours are in there. Some very, very intense and vibrant colours are in there. And now we do have the full suite of the Euro 4 12Z Meteo Seal. So, yes, Thursday, very intense thunderstorms across parts of England and Wales again. And they keep rumbling around as far as we get to 8 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. Again, notice how they keep constantly trying to pull to the west, though. So those areas like North Wales and North West England, you could get several more bouts of really funky weather out of this. But gradually with time, more places like the Midlands, Southern England tends to come into the firing line. Again, for like Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, maybe parts of Norfolk, there's not a great deal doing here up to Thursday with these thunderstorms. Okay, so that is a storm watch. So the general gist is what we've been saying, really, that over time these storms are going to get more widespread. There's going to be some very, very nasty weather around indeed. Severe lightning, proper fork lightning, very, very intense thunder, lots of hail, definitely possibility, damaging hail, maybe 1 or 2 funnel clouds or tornadoes, can't be ruled out with this, and torrential rain as well, and places will be getting flooded out with these thunderstorms, unfortunately. But then a couple of miles down the road, other places might stay completely dry and have a completely dry week and not get any rain and thunderstorms. It's one of those sort of situations. But over time, through Wednesday and Thursday, these storms are definitely getting more widespread across England and Wales, albeit eastern areas are left out of it a little bit. Okay, so we'll definitely have a look at this in the live stream tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'm sure we will, as well as everything else that we do in the live stream. 5-day forecast coming up for you tomorrow, and then I'll be live streaming sort of a 10 to 14-day video update from 6 o'clock, which will include lots of data about these thunderstorms. For today's video, so that's all for now, and thanks for watching.